It's rather simple, I know, but I don't think I can really put into words how excited I am for this game, how passionate I am for this game, and how ready I am for this game to just consume as much of my time as possible. So I have to keep it simple. I am excited for Kirby Air Riders. I don't know about you, so you'll have to tell me in the comments, but how do you see the two directs presented by Sakurai and not see that it isn't just about selling us on a game? It's like an artist gleefully showing you his hard work and gushing over to his heart's content. He even mentions how he doesn't plan any DLC or to make it an ongoing series, so he poured his all into it. We can be upset over raising prices and what we think warrants $60 or $70 or $80, but if there is one game that's worth its price tag, so far it's gonna be this one. Seriously, I wanted this to mostly be me just going over everything that gets me hyped up for the game, but realistically, it's also just covering everything that gives this game value and worth from a price point view, and it's literally everything in the game. Nothing's filler or fluff, it's literally all meat and potatoes. And I hope this entry really gets Kirby Air Ride the recognition and respect it deserves. He's built on everything from the original, literally everything. Top Ride is back and looks great. It has new items, new views to position the screen when you play. All machines are playable in it now, new courses. We don't know about the old ones returning like Air Ride will, but I have a feeling he still didn't show us everything in these directs, so there are still a few surprises left. Because he didn't even show us 9 Top Ride courses, he showed 6, all obviously inspired by the Air Ride courses, so the remaining 3, or more, are left for launch. I love the simplicity of Top Ride because it's a bit of a change of pace from the Air Ride and City Trial modes to kind of get a break from the main game. That different camera angle, just fun minigame-like courses, some Top Ride exclusive items. It's a really nice thing to switch over to and play for like a half hour to an hour to almost like refresh your palate for the main game. It's kind of how I said nothing here is fluff or filler, because it's definitely a side mode compared to the others. But it's still fun and has an obvious amount of passion and effort put into it. It isn't just there to be something different, it's actually good. And I didn't like Top Ride when I was younger, but eventually got around to giving it another go later in life, and I liked it. It was charming, but I couldn't help but feel it could be so much more. And I guess that kind of comes into play too with the fact that it was such a rushed game and still came out relatively amazing. And every time I'd play a Mario Party or game like it, there'd almost always sometimes be a mini game that had that same like bird's eye camera angle. You'd all be racing cars around some track that shares just the one screen. It makes up the whole screen for everybody to look at. And I always thought of Top Ride and how I liked that style more and wished it was better, and I always find myself thinking back to it. And well, here it is. Top Ride, you may not be the focus of the game, but I'm real happy you're here. I'm going to open about Air Ride with this. I love how it looks actually enjoyable on its own. Back on the OG, I didn't really care for the Air Ride mode standalone. It was sometimes fine as a stadium event at the end of a city trial run, but that was it. Here, they implemented some great changes that get me more excited. Like when your machine is heavily damaged, it starts moving faster, but it's like shaking and quaking, and you're at risk of getting demolished from 1 or 2 more hits. It's a great mechanic. I also like the Star Slide quite a bit, which looks similar to the Mario Kart Tailwind or whatever it's called, that thing where like you're following close behind somebody's pathway and you get like a speed increase. Similar to that, not exact, but you know, the opponents ahead of you leave that, well, trail of stars, and if you kind of like stick within it, you get a slight speed increase to gain on them. The characters have a special power, typically prioritizing a speed increase, and then a secondary feature more related to their personality, which gives everybody even more substance and likability. The game pace is also increased a bit, which was my other problem with OG Air Ride, is it felt a little too slow for my tastes. And I don't need my racing games to be F-Zero speeds of pace, but Air Ride just didn't feel fast enough or chaotic enough to me to really get like a fair amount of enjoyment out of it. Now, the game pace is faster, there's more mechanics to get faster on top of that, and now there's up to 6 racers and more abilities and items for a more hectic experience. Couple that in with 9 new beautiful courses, as well as the 9 old courses returning with a fresh coat of paint. This is where you can really see how dedicated Sakurai is to making this game a home run. They didn't have to bring back Top Ride, they didn't have to add the old Air Ride courses, but he and his team did. We all know the highlight of Air Ride, the original, was City Trial. But the fact that he's pouring his all into every mode to make sure they're all packed with content and all great experiences shows how much he cares about his worth. Also, the addition of Swap Relay in Air Ride is a creative, enjoyable, different way to play Air Ride. I love how it looks. It's really cool. Picking a machine for each lap, really dope. Makes for fun ways to experience the mode, as well as compete with friends and others online. I'll definitely give it a fair amount of my time because it's just another great different way to enjoy it all around, and I love that. And of course, City Trial. How could it not be mentioned? A very one-of-a-kind mode for its time back in 2003, and he and his team improved on it in every way and dialed it up to 1,000. Building yourself up from a humble beginning, riding the little dopey compact star just to be a true force to be reckoned with on a juggernaut machine of your choosing, all while evading or fighting opposing players in the sandbox, benefiting from or avoiding the Skya events like bosses arriving or meteor showers. I don't know if they're bringing back like rail stations on fire or whatever have you. Tacks are back. It's really great. I love the addition of in-city stadium events like a quick dust-up derby or quick race around the city. It's really creative and amusing just to kind of have that sort of like crammed in, and you don't even have to do it if you want to. You kind of go to it really quickly. Whoever wants to participate takes a quick second to be like, oh, I'm gonna go to the grassy meadows or whatever they're called, and everyone that goes there has an event, and the winner gets their additional rewards, powering up for the actual end game event. Really great. Skya looks like a great successor in City Trial to the original map, which I don't believe had a name. I think it just got called City. I would have loved to see the OG City be a second optional map. I know it is smaller and Skya was designed for up to 16 people, but surely if they actually wanted to, they could have the OG, and if they felt it, limit it to maybe 8 people, or even still, if it's meant to be chaos, let 16 people go at it anyways, why not? Or they could just kind of like try to scale it up a little bit in size. But you know, it's hard to not be greedy when you've been given so much already. You're kind of just like, okay, more, keep shoveling it. And I ain't saying this is a bad thing that it isn't here, because there's already so much to love. But as I just said, looking at it from the point of view of just when you think he's done showing stuff, he keeps going and shows you more. And it almost makes you want to be more greedy. But I digress from that point. We have the legendary machines, Hydra and Dragoon returning, and I was saying to myself, I would have liked to see a new third machine. And it's still a possibility, as there's a few moments in the newest Direct where we see gummies of these different machines that haven't been showcased yet. One looks, people have been calling it the whale, and at first I feel like it kind of looked like it would, you know, possibly be a legendary machine. But the one other frame people found from one of the main menu segments is that Kirby's riding it in the Top Ride menu, which I don't think Top Ride's going to include the legendary machines. At least I don't think we saw that. The only way it would make sense is if all the boards had all their stats made to be the same, so there's no, like, you know, clear advantage for people selecting the legendary machine. But there's 2 other little pictures showing different gummies without close-ups that are of machines that we haven't been shown yet. And, you know, we see in the garage that there's some blank spaces still missing when he's showing us free run. But we'll get back to that. So if there's a third legendary machine, what would it specialize in, you know? Dragoon is, you know, well-rounded in the steering and speed department, not overly speedy, but mainly prioritizing and gliding. Hydra, very fast, very deadly, lacks handling a little bit, takes a little bit to get it going, doesn't obviously charge boost at all. So what would the third one specialize in? I'm curious. He's certainly shown us a lot, and still left stuff to discover on our own when it comes out. And there's also a team mode for City Trial now. Love that. Even more revealed characters, to which he phrased as, these are the last we'll show you. So there's probably even more to pick from that we haven't been spoiled. We see all the original machines are back on top of all these new ones. So there's a feast of different machines to pick from, along with those few gummy ones that we spotted. So, you know, there's a few more we haven't seen yet. So maybe one of them is a legendary board, third legendary. Just the diversity this game has on top of its content makes me feel you'll need to play this for like tens of thousands of hours before getting bored. Seriously. All this and more for the end result of competing in a stadium contest. So let's talk about the stadiums now. Like most of this game's trends go, all the old stuff is returning, so all of the old stadium minigames return, along with new ones like Gourmet Race, Skydive, Rail Panic, Beam Gauntlet, and Oval Race. It looks like most, if not all, of the stadiums will have different variations to pick from too, like the old ones, you know, had different demolition derbies, like I had 1 through 7 or something. Kirby Melees, there was 1 and 2, blah, blah, blah. The drag races 1 through 4 or something. And I did also notice some different target flight target boards. So for like a split moment on the main menu, there's a second target flight where there's a spinning wheel instead of the OG square grid. I hope there's a few different oval circuits too. And I get it, it's an oval. There's only so much you can do with it. But still, maybe 3 variations to keep things interesting. Maybe one has a whole second floor that gliding boards can take advantage of. And maybe one is themed more so around this candy dessert-like setting we see for a brief moment in Road Trip. It's like sugar-coated straightaway, I think it's called. Because we don't see anything else in the game themed after this. No top ride tracks yet, no air ride tracks, nothing. Just something to think about. And now here is something I am hyped for, is the Versus Boss. I liked the Versus DDD as a kid, but you know, it's something you would get bored with pretty quickly because he kind of just like drives around and you only get hit if you accidentally go in front of him while you fight the camera angle. For this, they went all out making this iteration of boss fight. The Mecha DDD is dope. I love that I manifested the return of Nightmare. I firmly believe that. It was me. You guys are welcome. Apparently there's another one called 02. I don't know. I don't think I didn't play the game that they're from, but still, if each boss is a very different and unique fight from the others, this is going to be epic. He gave us Lock-On, for Christ's sake. So 4 or 5 bosses for this, and that's plenty, but I'll gladly take more. And I don't know what else to say. Exciting. The final mode, the new mode, the story mode, as they say, a road trip. Once again, this is why I genuinely think you won't be able to get bored of this game. What I love is that it's a relatively simple story, but it works so well. The machines feel drawn to something and their owner says, all right, let's check it out. Any character is the main character. Love it. It feels well, I shouldn't say feels, we haven't, but yeah, looks a bit like a roguelike and an adventure, you know? It's great to get you to experience everything the game has to offer already, worked into a story mode, because you'll do some of Top Ride, you'll do some of Air Ride, you'll do some of City Trial, you'll do some stadiums, some things unique to Road Trip. It's just great. He's worked in shops, rest stops, and roadblocks, and other fun little obstructions and things that affect your journey as you're going on the road trip. All leading up to what I assume is the final clash with the Dark Wheelie Bike Rider. Because he mentions something mysterious can happen on the journey, and we see him. So we may see him more than once before the final battle, or someone else the final battle. Just the fact we've been shown a 45-minute direct, and then an hour direct, and there's still at least a handful of stuff unknown to us is absurd. Next, one of my favorite things to have seen is the machine customization. And I gotta tell you, this was something I never thought we'd see. I thought it would be too elaborate, too much of a hassle for them to try and implement. And maybe even worrisome from a standpoint of, will they have no restrictions and, you know, people will maybe have inappropriate designs and they gotta dial it back or something else, whatever have you, or could it have been too bare bones? Regardless, they did it and it's awesome. This is like cool levels of the emblem editor in old Call of Duties. It's like a way to really put your own personality into the game, your experience, and it's awesome. I saw that little lantern item accessory, and you already know I'm making a Bloodborne themed machine, or 2, or 10. The amount of depth, just from the glance he gave us, shows that there's going to be a lot of possibilities with this editor, like the paint patterns, the stickers and decals, accessories, and effects. I do also want to add the hats for your rider too. That's a nice little thing as well. You can make them maybe match your machine's custom aesthetic by maybe finding a similar or matching hat. And then there's that little garage you can display them in too. Like, get out of here. That's great. You can list them on a shop, the machine market, and see how their popularity grows. If there's like a bunch of people buying it, they're buying your schematics or whatever, your design for that machine, you just kind of see the price fluctuating. That's crazy. These little bits and baubles that don't seem like much still have such a big impact on the fun factor, because it really feels like some people have these very specific niches that barely anyone relates to, but seeing that as a consideration or whatever have you in the game helps it feel like everyone, every type of gamer, was considered while this game was developed. And speaking on that, lastly, the accessibility. Firstly, I was really hoping for an advanced control scheme. Like, the OG Air Ride has a mod that people play on Dolphin and stuff that separates charge boost and use item or use copy ability, which I really wished was a normal thing. So many times you lob a spike ball or a plasma shot when you don't want to because you need to slow down or stop and turn, but that button also makes you use your item. It isn't confirmed to be here, as I mostly just saw the ability to map out your special ability and charge boost, but I'm hoping that it's just something he didn't feel needed to be covered and we can find it on our own upon release, since this section was more for ease of access, not making it more advanced. But he adds obvious functions for people that are prone to like motion sickness and all that, so you can decrease the intensity, and there's colorblind filters, adjustable text sizes, HUD options, field of view, all that. Anyone can play this game because you can literally also button map it to play one-handed. It's wonderful. I mean, the old game you kind of could too on GameCube controller because you could just use the triggers. Well, you'd have to do it left-handed because you would have the left trigger and then just the control stick, and that was it. But then there's also that diorama mode he mentioned, which I think is neat because it really brightens up and adds more color to the game. When I saw he was doing a quick little tidbit comparison of it on and off with Fantasy Meadows for a brief moment, before I saw he said this is diorama mode, I thought he gave the tracks different times of day because it actually looked different. Like, it looked like it was at sunrise or something instead of midday, but it was just the diorama style being applied. But the fact that it can make it look so much different but still be so vibrant and full of colors is a really cool feature. Again, it really threw me off. I thought he had like different times of day for the tracks for a second. You can change the view for 2-player split screen to be horizontal and vertical. That's great. I honestly loved older games that split the screen vertically, and I feel for some people it may help them play better or just have a better overall experience. And lastly, the picture mode, which it seems like more games are kind of implementing that nowadays. And it's always a nice little feature to mess around with, especially in a game as beautiful as this, because it's going to lead to a lot of funny or creative or gorgeous screenshots. Just a wonderful thing to kind of mess around with, and you know, something comes up in the game, you go, I'd like to capture this for a second. You can't, it's there, great. And honestly, the fact there's even more I didn't cover because I didn't want this video to be super long is insane. I'd rather make a video about me just gushing over everything be a longer one instead of one like this where I'm just trying to kind of report on all the big things, even though I think everything about this game is a big thing, but still. I said it in the beginning, and I'll say it again. I am excited for Kirby Air Riders. Genuinely, I think this is the first time I felt that the weight of anticipation for this game makes me feel like a kid again. It's bizarre. It's the only way I can phrase it, is it gets me that genuinely excited and looking forward to it. I'm that hyped for it, especially as someone who played the OG as a kid, and then as a teenager, and then as a young adult. It's like, it's like a dream come true to see there's a sequel. And just, what do you think? What do you think? Did you play the original on the GameCube? Were you one of the 7 lucky people, aside from myself, that actually had a GameCube and then actually bought this game? Are you just a fan of Sakurai's work? Are you just hearing about this entry now, having a Switch 2, and checking it out? Are you as excited as I am? I definitely encourage any thoughts on it. I would love to have the open discussions. And yeah, we're in the home stretch, it seems now.